Fabrice, on record today, he's the youngest person ever, ever to pass the GCSE, tough GCSE. Higher paper, those of you that is the most difficult paper you can write at 16. He wrote it 2 years early. But let me play back the story. When he was brought to me by his parents, they told me he was no good in anything in school. He's not good in maths, he's not good in English, he's not good in... And the only thing he's good at is football, which I find incredible because football is essentially a mathematical subject. It's a logical game. You're not a fool if you're great at football. So we worked with him. We applied the same principles, the one that we have taught over the years, the one that Michelle re-echoed in her book, and singled out our students, because we work with students in inner city, and Michelle was very keen in underlining that. The fact that you are born poor doesn't mean that you can die poor. The fact that you are born by an uneducated parent does not in any way give you permission to stay illiterate or uneducated. You have to move to the next level. That's the reason why life is progressive. So thank you for those that are sharing. And Debbie, thank you. BCK, thank you. Edwin, thank you. A long list of people that are on hand, watching this thing by Facebook, and those of you on Instagram. I'm very pleased for you. So this is what happened to Fabrice. He went through our system and he became the youngest person to clean up GCSE. He's moved with all the stars now. Global brand, globally recognized. That's Evander Holyfield, the world heavyweight champion. That's Piers Morgan. So he's successful in football, successful in mathematics, over successful in language, and is now a celebrated icon representing England, playing football for England, the England team, national team, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 21. He played for them. This is another case study, Tola. So you cannot say because you're a boy you can't do it, or because you're a girl you can. No. I said there are no gender-specific preferences when it comes to talent. Can you put that down in black and white? Tola was raised in the East End of London, Hackney to be precise, and I had the privilege of being her mentor. And when she came to me, the thought was, she'll go to a standard university or a local university. And when she asked in her school, the careers advisor, and he said, yes, you just go low on these things. I said, but she's capable of applying to the top university in the world, the best university of the best. I said, no, you are not. I'll cut a long story. She failed in Oxford University and everyone laughed, because the previous year, Oxford University had looked at the score of the then Prime Minister, Tony Blair, and told Tony Blair that his son was not capable of coming to Oxford because he didn't meet the requirements. So here is Omotola telling the teacher, I want to apply to Oxford. No, you're wasting your time. You can't get in. It's not for people like you. You've heard that said to you over and over again by people that know less, saying, you can't attain this, or you can't achieve this, you can't accomplish this. Whatever synonym they use, we will show you, because we've been through it. We have the long journey. We've done the journey once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. We'll show you the shortcut, the straightforward shortcut of how you can achieve and exceed every expectation. We don't want you to meet expectation. You must exceed it. So, Sola was on the EIA program, and she did not just go against what the teacher said in terms of accomplishment. Because the teacher said, Oxford will not give you admission. No, Oxford cannot give you admission. Do you know what she got? She didn't get admission. She got a scholarship. Jude just logged in on Facebook. Shay, Ricky, Hicks logged in. You need to hear this, and you need to share this with anybody you know that's going through exam or any form of assessment. If they have the right to, because Tola also, you cannot, you are not the type that can get into Oxford. There are people that go to certain schools and they end up in Oxford. And that was it. She met us, I just laughed, said, don't worry. Here are the tools you need to know. Here's the techniques you need to use. Here's the new thinking you need to be able to work with. And well, she got a scholarship. The story doesn't end there. When she got into Oxford, remember they said she's not good enough to go to Oxford. She topped the class. So if you look at it, this is the University of Oxford website, showing off the best, and listing Adam Smith, the father of economics, is there as one of their best. Christopher Wren, the father of modern architecture, he designed St. Paul's Cathedral, iconic building. Dorothy Hawking, Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of India. They listed this, Oxford University listed as their own model students that have been through the university. And they started the list with Omotola. This is what knocks me down. This is what really energizes me to speak to you the way I'm speaking to you. With clear evidence and with clear conviction that I am not in any doubt that you can exceed what you are achieving now. I know that because you are playing at mediocrity now. You're moving at mediocre level. We need to raise you 2 steps up, and then you know what you can achieve. The barrier is gone. You can exceed everything anybody has told you. So when Omotola was in Oxford, when the First Lady came for the G20 summit with the husband there, Michelle Obama came with Barack Obama, who was then the president of the US, and she was then the First Lady. All the different presidents of the different countries of the world wanted to take photograph with them, profile with them. Guess what? She came all the way to Oxford. Oh, thank you for sharing. I'm pleased that most of you are sharing this. She came to Oxford, and who was it that she was hobnobbing with? This is Omotola Akerele, the one that was told in Hackney that she doesn't have the IQ, she doesn't have the capacity, she doesn't have the aptitude. They've told you several things about what you don't have. I need to tell you that what you have is enough to take you to where you want to go. Please write that down. What you have in you, what you have deposited in you is enough. We will work with it and we'll have a multiplier effect because we will implement what is called the 10 KR rule so that you effortlessly clean up any challenge you have in front of you. This is Tola here with, we had dinner last night with Dawkins. Yes? I had dinner last night, and that's Tola with the great and the good. That's straight from Getty Images. So it's not my photograph I'm showing you. It's not the photograph of anybody. This is official photograph of Getty Images with Tola, the best selling professor. He sold more books than most professors on the planet. And then Palin, the most recognizable icon on television, is still there with Tola. So it is very clear that with enthusiasm, this is a quote, I know Reuters used this, my quote, about 2 years ago, and the BBC re-echoed it. Because when you have the right tools, and then we give you opportunity to express it with energy, with enthusiasm, you can tackle anything and come up with a distinct and distinctive mark on history. So that's Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, there on that 5 Live. There's a tweet out of 5 Live. So Tola, this is Tola and I, and this is with Sir Ben Ainsley. We went to see, he's a 6-time Olympic champion, won Olympic champion. Then he came back again, and he came back 6 times. Nobody's had this type of selling profile as her. The useful thing was when we discussed, we found out the commonality in the tools that he uses, the commonalities in the thinking, the commonality. It's fascinating how success is achieved in every level of life. I'm giving you the fourth case study. His name is Joshua Bright. I want you to write it down. This is his LinkedIn page. Because I'm not just trying to tell you stories. I must give you evidence. Facts that you cannot contradict. It is there. Joshua came to us then at Duncan House in Stratford. Joshua, parents are not professors. They are not. Don't just forget it. Mom who works in the housing department and is a local politician. Took the GCSE at a very young age. Cleaned up the A-level when he was a young teenager. At 17, he had graduated from an Ivy League department. 17, with a first class in triple honors. 3 different disciplines fused together. He topped the class, and yet he was 17. He's not biologically linked to all the other case studies I've given you. So please don't tell me it's genetic. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. If you tell me it's genetic, you will say. So that's Joshua there, that's the mom, and that's myself. Last time, where the one was kind enough to share her testimony in the book. This is the Queen Mary University officially recognizing Joshua. That's there, it's published. It's there, it's in their newsletter. So can you grab this screen and look at the link? I put the link there for you to see. If you're skeptical, please go and verify this. Because everything I'm giving you, they are verifiable facts. You can write to them, you can check the link, you can contact them and see whether a 17-year-old who once studied with us and we had the pleasure of mentoring, did not graduate from the highest rating university, Ivy League university, with a first class, top of the class. This is Chimi. Chimi, she's now on the vice presidency board of Barclays in London, just having completed a stint in Wall Street with UBS. That's what you see as a headline. But let me take you back to when she was a teenager in Hackney, in one of the most deprived areas then, the lowest performing academically. It was the lowest performing academically, by all parameters, in all honesty. She heard about Anne-Marie's case, passing GCSE in primary school. And she also said, but my favorite subject is German. And we said, well, that's fine, it doesn't matter. We applied the same tools. August 2005, AQA wrote a letter saying, we are pleased to inform you that you scored the highest. This is against the background that the school told her, look, you have not even started the syllabus. We have people in the school that have done the syllabus and they don't get C. We have 36% pass rate. Why do you want to take it before your time and fail? So I was just hoping that she gets a C or maybe she gets a B, just prove the school wrong. No. She applied the same genius formula and she didn't get a B, she didn't get a C, she didn't get an A, she got an A star. And when they checked all the scripts in the country, the entire scripts in the country, she got the highest marks, period. She didn't just get the top grades. When they mathematically added up, she got the highest marks. I have the letter, I can show you that to you. From AQA, the example. So the school that said, oh, don't do it, or the teacher said, oh, don't do it, that's why I don't get annoyed with people that work on ignorance, because when they are working with their limited knowledge, Kemi, thanks for logging in. When they are working with their limited knowledge, it's very easy to be misled, to think that the person has been teaching for 25 years and therefore knows everything about your ability. No, that person knows everything about their subject matter, not you as an individual. So, if you haven't booked, please make sure you get the link, because we are going to work you through the exercises. One thing to hear is another thing to do, is another third thing to experience, and that transforms you. She was invited by Tony Blair to Downing Street then, hosted by the Prime Minister of the day. Yeah, it's true. As a young girl from Hackney, scoring the highest marks in German, because it was the highest marks in the country. If you top anything in the country, you are hosted by the leaders, because you're leading an area. So leaders always attract leaders. She went on and got a scholarship worth £48,000 to the top schools in the country. She went on and got the accelerated program. I mean, it just completely changed her life. That's how she ended up in Wall Street with UBS, the giant scale. So just make sure that you tag with the other one. So people are aware of this, because I hate for people to work in ignorance and begin to debate with you whether or not it is possible for them to excel beyond description. This is Ivan, age 8. He's now, by the way, he's also working now in an investment bank, the Japanese Mora investment bank. Ivan, at the age of 9, wrote the GCSE exam for 16-year-olds, and over 300,000 boys and girls that were 16 years old wrote the same exam and failed. So when he came back in year 4, he took the 11 plus. He took the common entrance. He got multiple admissions from year 4 knowledge. So in year 5, the head teacher was taking him to the nearest secondary school to expose him to more materials, because he now knew not just the syllabus, the depth of the syllabus. So he didn't need to do year 6. He went to Queen Elizabeth Boys in Barnet. It's a top boys' school according to the Telegraph in the country. This is somebody from Waltham Forest, went to Roger Ascham School, which is a low-performing school, and was going to special major at that time, was able to turn around. This is what I'm saying. Out of the huge mountain of despair, the stone of hope emerged. It's there. Ivan Bombo. You can Google it. Please make sure you Google it, because it's pointless taking my word. Why would you take my word for it? Google it and share this with anyone that thinks that they are going to fail an exam. Whatever description, whatever level. If you're writing an exam at master's level, you have an assessment to do for your research, body of research at PhD level. You have any assessment or test to write or exam at undergraduate level, at advanced level. It doesn't matter. The principles are the same. The tools are the same. We will give them to you, and we'll share with you how people have used them. This is an interesting one. Nick, I put here the link. Can you see? www.bbc/news/technology. It gives you the number. I want you to go and verify. Nick came to meet me at an event in London and said, Chris, I heard so much about you, and would you like to be my mentor? I laughed and talked about it. But I'll cut a long story. Going through the mathematical algorithm and working through the logic of maths, he was able to deploy one app, mobile app. Was able to deploy one app, and that app sold for $30 million. As it's 17-year-old. As 17-year-old, he was a multi-millionaire. Please do not take my word for it. I would like you to go and Google it. That's a photograph we're taking. That photograph was taken inside Buckingham Palace at the reception that all the senior royals for tech entrepreneurs. That's the photograph of myself and Nick. So please, if you have forgotten, put out your diary now. On Tuesday, the 28th of May, on Wednesday, the 29th of May, or to the 31st of May, throughout this half week coming, you better make your booking. If not, I don't know how many places are available, because the locals, that means people that already participated in previous year, are there. They are there. So we don't know how many we can accommodate from outside. There's no point calling us. Just send us a WhatsApp message if you have any issues, or send us an email, and we will make sure we accommodate you. If you are not able to make the May one, there is another one in June. There's another one in June where we will give you all these tools. We'll give you all the techniques, and then you will emerge from the other side understanding how much you know. I mean, knowing how little you know about yourself. This is the founder of Bloomberg. His name is Mike Bloomberg. We also had the opportunity to had a dinner in London, and we're just discussing, and it will amaze you what came out of his mouth. This is Bloomberg, the power of information, and how he has deployed it to build an empire. Bloomberg does not make cars, does not make tangibles. You don't know that, but you can hear it from me. I discussed with the founder. He shared his vision with me, I will play his tapes for those of you that are able to come for it, so that you understand what entrepreneurship is. It's not about money, it's about the services and how you are able to go into the fourth industrial revolution based on AI, based on VR, virtual reality, based on new tools. If you use old tools, you will get old results. On top of that is Jack Dorsey. I said earlier that we hosted him. He is the multi-billionaire young man. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating how your mind takes you to a level that nobody ever thought was possible. We'll make some of our discussions public. I mean, make them available to you, so you understand the secret of entrepreneurship. So here, this is the tools we're talking about. This is the part one. We'll give you the understanding, a new understanding of technology. We'll give you a new understanding of techniques you're going to use and the tools you're going to use. Once you combine this with the new thinking you deploy, it's impossible for you to fail. That's the model. Impossible. Literally impossible. This is the evening standard. Please pick this evening standard out. Just put in the title, it will come up on your Google. Maths was just a game for a pair of 8-year and 9-year-old. Money making is a game. Passing an exam is a game. If you understand it, the more you play it, the more you understand it. The more you play, the more you understand it. That's why they say repetition is the mother of learning. Please do not forget that we are going to give you free copies of the Michelle Obama book, free copies of the Robert Kiyosaki book, free copy of the Richard Branson book. Because you need to be able to work through this. And we'll give you specific exercises we are going to do there that will blow your mind. Blow your mind. I don't care where you are, in what part of the world you're in. So if you are still tagging, please can you tag as many people as possible. Samuel and Laurel, can you see the phone and the saxophone she has? She's a saxophonist invited by the House of Lords. She has performed at the House of Lords, reception of the House of Lords. That's a brother with a guitar. Can you see their secret weapon? They got a maths manual which sees maths as a game, fundamentally as a game. The twins, famous twins you heard, that's on BBC 2009. Here, look at it, A-level results for twins, age 8. Yes, I know, everybody thinks you write A-level when you are 18. But at the age of 8, they cleaned it up with one of the highest scores in the country. That's why they were celebrated by the BBC. It's still on their website as I'm talking to you right now. Right now. So don't say that I missed the episode. No, it's there. Just type in A-level success for twins, age 8. That's it there. Comes up there. This is CNN coverage of how to boost performance in the pizza development. When you are working with different children from different backgrounds, different countries, pizza test course across the entire OECD countries. That's the CNN one here. This is the BBC podcast, it's still available. So we will make sure that when you get this, you get the newsletter from us so that you know essentially what's happening all the time. We'll plan a tour for you, Oxford and Cambridge. So your take-home message should be this. Your success is not a function of your age or date of birth. It's not a function of duration, the time you've spent studying anything. That's not what determines your success. It's not a function of your background. That's not what. It's not even a function of your talent. It's not a function of your gender. Whether you're a boy or girl, doesn't matter. It's not a function of the school you are attending. What really matters are 5 things. I'm just showing 3 here. The tools you're using, the techniques you're deploying, and the technology you've decided to use. So if you have that, and we will give you, really, just to give you examples now, we'll give you exactly the same tools that they use. That's why we say every child is a genius. That's why we say everyone can achieve it. It's not just a bragging comment. It is evident. CNN clicked on this, and that's a photograph from the Senate building at the University of Cambridge. That's the modified version. That's some of the tools we use, and we'll give you blueprints, and you're able to understand all of this. We're giving you links, publications, skeptical on publications that have come out to identify the tools that we use. So you've got to think differently, you learn differently, and then you teach differently. You can't use the old tools and expect something, because we all learn differently. If you're autistic, no. Autism is not a death sentence, my friend. No. If you're dyslexic, no, it's not a failure sentence. You just see things differently. So thinking different now, because that's what I shared at the autism conference June 2 years ago. It's still there. It's true. So you need to know the philosophy that will guide you, the psychology that will guide you, the principles and the practice. So we'll take you through this and you work through this. We were blessed to be invited to Meghan and Harry's wedding, because Meghan physically came down to one of our programs, spoke to the girls, sat next to them, literally. She didn't sit on the high chair for princess or for VIP. She came down on the STEMED program up in Birmingham and interacted with the girls, and she saw for herself how STEM is absorbed by girls. And once you absorb it, you move up 2 notches. Came down with the then bride, with the bridegroom, and we had the honor of attending our wedding in Windsor. These are the royal correspondents here in Kensington. As a royal baby. This is Israel. Israel cleaned up A-level in 21 days. That's a BBC. 21 days. People spend 2 years and then write A-levels and fail. But in 21 days, he cleaned it up. This is here. It's here. 21 days. This is not something that took place a million years ago. That's August 2017. You can take it from my tweet. You can please just make sure you grab this screen. I want you to grab this screen so that when you now start operating on a new level, people understand why you are saying what you are saying. Because if people see you, they just think that you're using the same tools. You're not using the same tools. That's why you're getting different results. Joanna Lumley is another person. I know you've seen her on television. Right? She is committed to the next generation. Fascinating woman. Had extensive discussion together up in London. Fascinating woman. And what strikes me by what she shared with me is the fact that she has even seen it as an actress. You know, you want to be an actress, you want to be an actor, there are factors that determine your success, and these principles are very, very similar. It's funny. In economics, Brexit, that's the book we put together using the same principle. So this is an African president came up with, this is the Jadoxy program that we have, entrepreneurship. You see that. If you Google Imafidon versus Jadoxy entrepreneurship, you will see this. This was on Sky. Again, this was what I was with the Queen's only daughter, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, sharing and encouraging and working with the next generation. He came down to a Salesforce event not long ago and put together by Anne-Marie and the STEMED group, and did a fantastic job of making girls know that science is not exclusive of boys. It's not an exclusive reserve of boys. And now we have a £2.3 million scholarship for any person that wants to be a scientist. It's here. I tweeted it 6th of September. Make sure you get this, because that the information you don't get easily from mainstream and newspaper. So are we still sharing? Because at the end, I'm going to make a good offer for you, and that you do not have any excuse not to come in and sign in, because the bonus you're going to have is going to be worth over £126,000. £126,000. And what you are doing is just going on Eventbrite and signing up. Because once you sign up, you're in. If you don't sign up, you will work with other things that people have always associated with mediocrity. So if you have any questions, for those of you that are just starting now, if you have any question, please type in your question on Twitter, type in your question on Instagram, and make sure that you are not going to operate like you did before. You operate radically different, and we're going to walk things through. So please do not forget. I'm saying it again. Do not forget. You have to make sure you do your booking now. If you are able to do your booking, fine. If you're unable to do it, it's just going to be a huge disappointment, because the seats go very fast. They go so fast. It's something that hurts me sometimes, because we have to turn a lot of people back, and I hate to turn people back and say because they booked late. So make sure you go on your Eventbrite now and make your booking. If you make your booking, you will be able to change what you're doing and accomplish that which you are meant to accomplish. So it's May the 28th, May the 29th until the 31st. You will not get the same grade as your school is telling you, okay? You will not get the same marks as the institution is telling you, okay? Because you are now using something radically different. So I'm going to take questions from you here. I'm going to be able to walk around things and be able to make sure that you can share this later. And I'll just see how far you've gone.